Hey teachers, I want to take a second and just explain the Clever portal on the teacher side. If you haven't heard what Clever is, it's going to be our new portal that we have students and teachers log in to be a single sign-on. So you log into one place and then we set all of the resources that are available to Davis Academy, and it pushes those logins either through us, or the student can put in their specific login and save it into the Clever portal, and then from then on out, they don't have to put in their password. So it makes getting access to the resources really useful and easy for both the students and the teachers. If you haven't logged into Clever with your Davis student email address, you have to make sure you're using that, not your Davis Academy, because Clever's tied to the davisstudent.org email address that you have. Just need to make sure you're using the Chrome browser, and you sign in with your Davis student profile. You go to the Clever portal, and then you click the sign in with Google. Since you're already signed into the profile, it'll pass those credentials through. And then the last step is the Clever extension. You want to make sure you add that to your Chrome browser so that it remembers the passwords that you put in for the future. If you need a little bit more training on that, more tutorial on that, I created a video for the students, and login for the teacher is exactly the same way. The only difference is once you're logged in, you have a few more resources and tools that I'm about to show you how to use. So if you're logging into the teacher, I'm actually going to log out here real quick. So when you go to the Manage Bookmark and you click Clever Login, it takes you to this website. And as long as you're signed in under your profile right here under Davis Student, you can click Login with Google. You probably won't see that screen, but if you do, just click Login as Teacher, and then you'll be prompted into this website. We'll go through all of this in a second. Just kind of an overview of the tabs. You have right here your homeroom. That's just the dashboard, the splash screen to log into the Clever for Teachers. Messages, that's if you want to send messages to students. We have other ways of communicating, so that may not be that useful for use, but it's there available if you want to use it. Library are the resources that you can add apps and things to your specific classes, and we'll go over that in just a second. Analytics, not really useful yet. It's supposedly showing some of the analytics of students that are logging in and what resources, but probably not something you'll use that often. And then classes, which I don't have anything because I'm not directly assigned any classes, but what you should see here are your specific classes that you teach. We pulled all the data in from the LMS, so if you're assigned a class in there, you should see those classes here. But going back to the homeroom, you should see 3 tabs on the pages here if this is your first time logging in. This Mr. Jones page was just created by default, and it's set to share with all my students. This Just You is visible only to me. And then this district page, it's shared by our district, which we don't have a district, but it's set up by the admin with all of the resources that we've assigned so far. And if there's a resource here that you think would be beneficial for multiple grades or schools that aren't already listed, feel free to email me and let me know, and I can add those resources to this district page. But if you go into this top page, these pages, depending on who you assign them to, are going to show up on the student's portal similar to this. They'll see a box that says Mr. Jones page if I'm a teacher assigned to that class. So right now, any student that I had assigned to me would see this box right here because I have shared with all my students. If I wanted to make this specific, let's say I taught a science class, I could go in and I can change this to science. And if I taught 5th grade, 6th grade, I can name it whatever title I want. If a description, I can put a description here of science resources. this just is what the student will see when they click on that tab. Right here, I've created two categories. If I didn't want to have this category, I could go over to this side and delete category, and now I just have this one. If I wanted to make an additional category, I can click add category, and then we'll just add science game back. So that's just how you break it up and make it look clean for the students when they click on the resources for that class. If I wanted to add a specific resource, like a website to the science resources, I can click add, and then I go to link, and this allows me to add a web page. So I've already got just an example right here. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it. So that's my URL link. And then if I wanted to call it like science, that'll be the link name underneath it. I can pick which category. So I have two categories right here, science resources and science games. I'm going to pick resources because it makes more sense. And then you have the choice of just these generic logos, or you can upload a logo. I like to add logos that are a little bit, they reflect the resource a little bit better. So for this Live Science, all I did was I searched for Live Science icon, and I found all of these resources. So when you get here, you can download it to your desktop. So I just right-clicked on it, and I said Save Image As. And I make sure my desktop is there, and I just rename it so I know what I'm looking for. So now I can go back here, and if I click Upload and find my desktop folder, I see that PNG file that I saved. I believe PNG and JPEG both work. PNG allows you to have an icon and then a transparent background. So I typically just do PNG, but either should work. I click Open, and it loads it right there. And then I click Add Link, and now I've got my resource set. And I can do this as many times as I want to. Under resources, I can add as many categories that I want to. If I had a PDF or let's say a science magazine that I want students to have access to, I can click Add PDF. And then I would just either upload a file or find it on my, my desktop. So if I had the Clever student instructions here, I can add that. And then I'm not going to search for an icon, but if I wanted to, I could upload another one. I click Add PDF. And there's my Clever instructions there for students to download. And if I wanted to move this from the resources to my games, I could just click and drag it. And now it's in that category. And then we were talking about having all students see it, which is what it's set right now. If you click Edit Student Sharing, if I had classes assigned to me, they would show up right here. But since I don't have any assigned to me, nothing shows up. But I could pick science 7th grade, science 5th grade, whatever classes that I teach right here. And any student that's enrolled in that specific class would be able to see this whole science class page after I do that. I'm just going to leave it for all students for now. If I go back to homeroom, my splash screen, now I see that I have two resources that I've shared with this specific class. That would be that PDF and that Live Science website. If I had a site that I wanted to set just for myself, because I have this set for only me to see it, then I can put in websites that me as a teacher would want to see and easily click on, similar to the way we do bookmarks on our Google page. The only difference is that it will save the username and passwords through the Clever portal, versus if I click on here, it only takes you to the website. So that's kind of useful if you have some resources that you want to add for yourself. And then the last thing, if there's specific resources when I log into my main splash page, this homeroom, If I wanted, let's say I wanted the Clever extension to show up on my top, I could click the heart button right here and it'll show up in my favorites tab. And then if I want it to go away, I just unselect it. It doesn't take it away from my list, it just hides it down further where it was. And then from here, I can add pages or apps that I can access, which it links to this library page. So that's a quick example of what some of the things you can do with the Clever teacher page. Hopefully it'll be useful for you. Feel free to email me at djones@davisacademy.org or find me in the hallway. Feel free to stop me and ask me a question. I'd be happy to help out. And if you need more training or me to show you some things, feel free to ask. Have a great day.